Cool. All right. So Greg, tell me more about the talk.
Yeah, I really just wanted everybody to think about why it's important to continue to create connections and build a vibrant professional network. There's really three reasons that I wanted to explain to people, because people tend to think about networking as I need a job, and networking isn't about just getting a job. There's three other reasons why you should really be networking, even when you're not looking for a job. The first one is gaining knowledge. And there's a lot of knowledge out there that we can get if we just go meet people and make connections and ask them, hey, have you solved this problem? What problems have you solved? How should I think about this problem? Can you help me out? And they'll be willing to help you with those problems and give you that knowledge if you know who to ask. So you need to have the connections in order to know who to ask. The second reason is that we should be building talent pipelines into our organization. Going out and meeting people who would be great talent to add, even if we don't have an open position. And you do that by making connections and learning who does what and who's really strong in their field. And then that's an asset to the organization that you can bring in when you have the opportunity. And the last reason is what I call career insurance. We insure everything in our lives, but we don't insure our careers. And what I mean by this is things can change. Companies can change, industries can change, your life could change, and having a vibrant professional network is a good way to insure your career, because you can't go buy a career insurance policy. It doesn't exist. You have to invest the time and create the connections so that when you do have a need to make a change in your career, that network is ready to go for you. And I really give people 5 tips or 5 steps to help them build a vibrant professional network without having to go to networking events and without sending spammy emails or making cold calls. And number one is I tell people to start with who you know. Start with people who are in your inner circle or who are what are called dormant ties. Dormant ties are people that you've worked with before, went to school with before, but maybe you've lost track of it. And getting in touch with them is a really efficient way to jumpstart your networking. And once you do that and connect with them, you need to get offline. You need to get in a place where you can talk voice to voice or face to face so that you can build that real connection and that real sense of a relationship. The thing you can do when you are offline, people will always say, well, I don't know what to talk to people about, it feels awkward. I always tell them, just ask them about themselves. It's their favorite subject, it's the thing they know most about, and they'll open up and tell you what they're working on. And once they do that, step number 3 is to come at this with a mindset of giving. So give to people. When they tell you what they're working on or what problems they're having, if you have an idea, give it to them. If you know somebody they should meet, make that connection, give them that connection. Don't approach this with the intention of receiving, because I think that's what turns people off about networking. It feels very much like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And once you've given to people, they're gonna say, how can I help you? So step number 4 is be easy to help. Be very specific with what they can do for you. And likely for you, you're gonna wanna meet a specific person or a specific type of person. But be very specific and tell them, I wanna meet somebody who works at this company, or I wanna meet somebody who works in this job similar to mine. And that helps them really decide who they can introduce you to. And once they've done that, this whole thing starts again. And that gets me to step 5, which is make this a habit. You can't just do this process one time and think you're networking. Networking is a professional development mindset, not a professional development project. It's something you have to continue to do. And once you do that, your network's going to continue to expand and grow. The cycle will go around, and you'll have that network there when you need it.
Great. Do you have any resources you can share with our listeners?
Sure. I referred to it in the talk, and it's the book Give and Take by Adam Grant. And I actually rediscovered this one recently. I had read it several years ago, but chapter 2 talks all about networking and what they've found in terms of who are the most effective networkers and how they go about it. And was really helped me discover this idea of dormant ties. And I think it's a great book if you haven't already read it in a lot of other respects, but specifically that chapter on networking is a good one to read.